Alright, y'all. Hey, y'all. This your girl, Tiffany. That was so lame. Anyways, I was going to go ahead and tell you guys about my first month experience with my tummy tuck and procedure. I'm going to go over a little bit of the stuff I had already went over in my other vlog, but just to give some more background information. Pretty much the main thing for my first month that kind of like helped me get through was support, and that was support from my nanny who went with me, and she was with me throughout the whole process. My doctor who did it, one of the requirements for the surgery was to stay in the hospital for at least 24 hours to be monitored. That was one thing that kind of made me feel like great about the procedure, knowing that they weren't doing it and sending me home on my way. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that y'all can see me because I'm trying this. I have the camera. Anyways, that's not important. So I had to stay in the hospital for 24 hours. So when I got to the hospital, I checked in, of course, with the administrator. And then they took me up to my room. Once they took me out to my room, I pretty much had to wait until the doctor was ready. They had me get there at 6:30, but my procedure wasn't until 10. Like I don't think I rolled down until like 9:30, which was kind of like a little rough because you couldn't eat the night before. So I was low-key hungry, but I wasn't starving. So once it became that time, they rolled me downstairs, and once they rolled me downstairs, Dr. Paulo came, and we were waiting for the anesthesiologist, and then of course he marked me up and showed me where he would be cutting and things like that. So once he got done marking me up, we were pretty much waiting on the anesthesiologist to come and give me the good juice. So when the anesthesiologist came, he wanted to put it in my hand, but I think I got an IV in my hand before. I got blood taken out my hand before for some reason, and it hurt. So I was like, no, can we put it in my arm? Because I have a really big vein in this arm here. And he was like, well, if you're getting liposuction, we usually try to put it in your hands. I was like, well, guess what? I'm not getting lipo. Go ahead and thank you. Bye. So he did seem a little irritated. You gotta remember, I'm in UAE, so I think it was more so because I was a woman telling him what to do. I don't know, I'm guessing. That probably was nothing to do with it. It probably just threw him off because he's just used to always doing it in hand. Who knows? Anyways. So he wound up putting it in my arm. And once he did it, he was like, I think, they like flushed it and did all that stuff. But he was like, yeah, I just gave you a little something. And I was like, wait, it feels like you gave me, and then I was out. So he didn't, what I'm used to in the States is before they actually give you the good stuff, they're like, all right, we're about to give you the good stuff, you're going to be ready to pass out and go to sleep. He didn't do that. It was very like, all right, dog, got your IV, here you go. Of course, it wasn't that dramatic, but that's what it felt like because the way he worded it, and again here, it's really easy to have a miscommunication because of the language barrier. What means something to somebody speaking it and listening to it can be two totally different things sometimes. So maybe in his mind, that's what he meant when he told me whatever he told me. But all I know for sure is he did not say, I just gave you your anesthesia, you're about to fall asleep. But it was really like a couple of seconds, like 2 or 3 seconds. And I was out, like that. Okay. So once I woke up, I felt some sharp pains, and his assistant, or whatever you call his companion or whatever, protege, was there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in pain. I'm still low-key groggy as all get out. And she was just like, give it a second. We just gave you something. I was like, oh no, it hurts so bad. And then she gave me something else, and the pain was gone just like that. And I think I kind of went to sleep a little bit. I can't really remember that piece. I know for sure when I woke up, I was kind of like still in pain. Well, not kind of. I was still in pain, and I can remember saying, "Hey, tell Teresa I'm done. Tell Teresa I'm done." Everything else was kind of blurred. So they rolled me up, and I'm just like, just in la la land, just a mess. So that was day one. The next day, I had a catheter in. So the next, they had me walking a little bit, like I got up out the bed. I'm lying. I didn't walk that night. I laid in bed the whole time. Got some food. Didn't have appetite. Then the next day, they took the catheter out. I think I was scheduled to get the catheter out at 8. They took the catheter out at 8, and they wanted me to use the restroom. So I think they came back at like 12, and then that's when I tried to walk. I think I was able to walk like 4 steps, and I was like, let me park this thing back, because it was very painful. So she came back and then walked me again, and then I wound up peeing. To be honest, no, my period wasn't on, I wasn't bleeding. But something they did there, I didn't really pay attention to it until I got home and realized why I should have paid attention to it. Was every time I went to the restroom, of course I was going assisted, they had a pad on me and they was changing it every time. It got to the point to where when they would change it, it would be real uncomfortable because it was so dry, and I was dry because they kept changing my pads. Now, I had never had a yeast infection before, and I think like 2 or 3 days after I came home, I realized I had a yeast infection. And I want to say it's because not only was I taking antibiotics and them changing my pad constantly, making me dry, I think it just like threw my pH balance all the way off. And that was like my first one. And after like sitting down and realizing what happened, I was like, I shouldn't have let them been changing that pad like that, because it was just unnecessary. I think every time I went to the restroom, they changed it, which was, no, they didn't need to do that. I wasn't menstruating or anything, so I don't know why. Maybe it's a sanitation thing, but if you do it, well, every woman is different. I know my vagina did not like that. And so when I got rid of it, I didn't want to take any more medication, because I was already taking antibiotics. I didn't get any narcotics. No, I'm lying. I did get I'm gonna put the name in there because I forgot it. I forgot the name of it. My body doesn't do good with Percocet. It makes me hella constipated, so I didn't want Percocet. But then he gave me the other thing. I think it was Tramadol. Anyway, I put it in it, and then I got like it's called Paralysis. It's kind of like a Tylenol, but a UAE or European version of that. And I got antibiotics and ibuprofen. So I didn't want to add any other medicine to it. And plus, like, I'm very cognizant of like making sure I include Greek yogurt in my diet to help prevent that. So all I did was really, I ate a lot of more yogurt. I had some apple cider vinegar, and was just kind of I was trying to let it run through the motions naturally, and it did. I think like within a couple of days, it was gone. You need to be aware that you cannot lift anything. So again, back to the beginning, support. Make sure you have support. You cannot go grocery shopping, because speaking for myself, I cannot walk more than 2 minutes without feeling like I was gonna pass out. The swelling made me lose my breath really, really fast. I lost my breath just talking to people. My insides were so tight and I was so swollen. So be sure that you go grocery shopping before you go, and you have everything you need. And to include like your scar treatment, whatever you're going to use to help you your scar recover, make sure you buy that in advance, so you don't have to be trying to walk around the store and get it. It eases the stress, and it helps, of course, helps the recovery speed up. I wound up having to sleep in a recliner. Well, it was a makeshift recliner. I didn't have a recliner. I was going to buy one from I was gonna buy one offline, not offline, but like from like the Craigslist version in UAE, Dubizzle. I think it's Dubizzle. Yeah, Dubizzle. I was gonna buy one. I found one for like I think 100 dirhams, but at the end of the day, I got lazy and I just didn't get it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just make something shake with this couch, this chair I have, and I did. I wound up just using my ottoman in a chair, and then I like put pillows. I use pillows because you have to sleep at a 45-degree angle and have your legs elevated to help prevent blood clots. So that's essentially how I slept for 2 weeks, and it was very uncomfortable and it was getting very irritating. Luckily, like the first week and some change, I was still on meds, so I was pretty much like kind of out of it for the most part. So that happened, and again, you not only you have to sleep at that angle, you also are forced to kind of like walk like this for like at least 2 weeks. No, I'm lying. Your body's gonna naturally start standing erect, but you will have to walk like this because your stomach is gonna be so tight from the doctor pulling your skin down. I did not have an appetite for 2 weeks. Like all I really wanted was fruit, water. I didn't really feel like eating like meats. Like I just didn't have an appetite for anything. I was just eating because I needed to eat at that point during those first 2 weeks. You swell like nobody's business, and it gets really discouraging. I'm sorry, y'all. You're thinking that, man, I just got this tummy tuck. I'm about to be snatched. My stomach's gonna be flat as a board. Nah, dog. You're gonna be swollen, and of course, it depends on your body type. You can watch some other videos and they probably not gonna have probably nowhere near the amount of swelling I had, but I had a lot of swelling and it was very low-key depressing. So be cognizant of that. Also, don't be afraid to move around. Although I would be losing my breath after walking around for 1 minute, I definitely did not spend the entire day on a couch because that is not good and it does not help with the healing if you're just laying in bed the whole time and the only time you get up is to use the restroom. That's just not good for your body. It's not like people say the hospital be trying to get you out, so they trying to get you to move and stuff. No, it actually really does help with the healing because you just think about it. If your stomach, if you got your muscles tightened and your freaking extra skin cut off and pulled down, and the only thing you're doing is sitting on the couch and getting up to use the restroom, you could be walking like this a little longer than 2 weeks because you're not letting your body adjust it with your natural movements and stuff. So it is best to get up and start moving around, but of course listen to your body. I knew after a minute I was out of breath, so guess what? I sat my behind down, but that didn't stop me from not trying to do it like an hour later. There was some points where I would try to get up every hour. Whenever I thought about it, I would try to get up to kind of help with the healing process. But again, listen to your body. Do not overdo it. You should not be doing anything that will cause you pain. Let me see what else. Make sure I'm not leaving anything out. There was something I was thinking about when I was talking that I wanted to bring up. I got the support, 24 hour in the hospital. I had the yeast infection. You cannot go grocery shopping. You cannot pick up anything over 5 pounds because it's gonna cause stress on your abs. You can actually, I did do too much at certain points. Like I would even as much as carrying my bag, I could feel it in my abs. Like it felt my abs were tightening, so I knew I needed to cut it out. So I would just like make my bag light, and luckily I had, I remembered what I was wanting to bring up to you guys. But I remembered, what I wound up doing is, because I had my bag, I would have my work bag and my purse, and my work bag would have like things I needed, like my lunch, lotion, just regular, stuff I would need to get through the day. So I had 2 bags, And luckily for me, like my coworkers knew that I had the procedure, so usually I would have one of them bring one of my bags in the office. So that worked out great. I almost forgot to mention the amount of time I took off. So my appointment was Thursday, so I took that Thursday off, had my procedure Thursday, had that weekend. If you guys don't know, in UAE, the work week is Sunday through Thursday. Excuse me. And our weekend is Friday and Saturday because Friday is their holiday. So I had Thursday off, and then I had the week, of course I had the procedure Thursday morning, and then I came home Friday morning, and then I had Saturday, and then I took Sunday off as well, and I was back to work Monday. Do I wish I had more time off? It would have been nice. It would have been nice to have more time off. What I would do is I think I still had a little bit of pain meds, so I would just kind of like rough it out during the day, and I would take the rest at night to kind of help me sleep through the pain. So that's how I did that with the drowsy meds. But to be honest, me going back to work Monday, it wasn't bad because my boss and all my coworkers knew, and by all, I only have 2 additional coworkers. They knew that I had the procedure. So it wasn't a big deal. My job is not physical. I work on computers, so I sit at a desk. So me going to work after Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, after 4 days, it didn't really hurt. It's just like me sitting in the house. The only thing is I work on the 2nd floor, but my shower is on the 2nd floor in my house, so I was going up the steps anyway to wash my rump. So that was cool. I got my drains out on day 4, Monday. I got my drains out. The doctor was telling me that he usually doesn't take them out until they are your drains are draining under 7 mLs, and mine was kind of like right at 7 mLs. But he was like, oh no, it's okay, it's fine, which was fine with me because having the drains, it wasn't nasty, it just made me feel like so uncomfortable, so nervous, and so scared. So I was like, oh, do I have it sitting up right? Is it gonna clot up? Is it stuck? Is it working? Like, it was just stressful in itself. That was a whole nother thing aside of me having the actual procedure and my freaking stomach and all that stuff. But worry about the drains, I was just ready to get it out. Not because it was nasty or nothing like it. It was just because I didn't. It's the drains. Is the stuff coming out? Do I have it standing up right? I was just over it. So he said it was gonna be okay. So I was like, all right, dog, pull that thing out. And so he pulled it out, and yeah, so I got my drains out within 4 days, and I only had 1 drain, which was in my lower abdominal area underneath my incision. And when he pulled it out, he just told me to take a deep breath, and when I took a deep breath, he pulled it, and I can feel it, but it wasn't like extremely painful, I would say, but I felt something. And I think a lot of it had to do with too, like, because it's still numb up here, and I probably still had some anesthesia. I don't know. It wasn't painful, but I definitely could tell he was pulling something out of my body. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions or would like to critique me, don't hesitate to leave some comments or questions below. And you can also subscribe. Like, dislike, whatever, just let me know. I just want to be sure, like, I'm not just wasting your time or mine. Well, I don't really care if I'm wasting my time because I really enjoy doing this and providing information, but I want to make sure it's good information. So y'all please be like, Tiffany, you need to calm down because first of all, you said too much. Second of all, I didn't need to know about your yeast infection. Just let me know. It's all good. I can take good and bad criticism because that's the only way to improve. Anyway, that main rant. I hope y'all got something out of this, and I hope I was able to inform you. And goodbye. Bye-bye.